All right, guys, let's go. We are live.
Indeed, we
Thank you
are.
so much for being here with us. We're back again with a new topic at hand. This time we're talking all about karma, a really interesting topic.
Right.
And is karma real? So, a lot of the New Age community, in terms of spirituality, they talk about the idea that you can decide upon your own karma, which I
Right.
understand to some extent, but I don't think that they can go so far as to say that karma is not real, because that's just going against a really, really, deep topic at hand. Like, what do you have to say about that, Ryan G? Like, in terms of people who say that karma actually doesn't even exist,
Uh-huh.
because then they could get away with all sorts of bad actions if they say karma doesn't exist, right?
So the premise you're posing is if karma doesn't exist and people are still choosing to take bad action, then isn't it just life without consequence? Which is a lie. There's always going to be
Right.
consequences.
A
And
life without
last time I
consequences, right?
checked, we'd rather not deal with liars. It's better to be transparent and just get it over with.
Hmm.
I've heard from you that there are spiritualists who do not believe in karma. Could you tell me more about your experience with that?
Well, I think it's just another form of spiritual bypassing, really, because it's another way of saying that, karma isn't a credit card with instant payment. It's kind of a long-term energetic balance sheet, right?
Right.
And so a lot of people, they see karma as very instant or like not instant at all. It takes a really long time to manifest. But I don't think we can even, as human beings, point a finger and say, this is exactly what karma is. So it's a flawed argument to even begin with, because karma isn't just about justice, it's also about momentum.
Okay. How would you define spiritual bypassing?
Someone who uses spiritual concepts to avoid their problems or run from their problems.
Mm, okay. Okay. I'm starting to understand why you don't like this. Yeah. At least for me, I am of the opinion that the best medicine is to face it. If you can't go under it, if you can't go above it or beside it, you must go through it. If you're gonna
Yeah.
tug it out, you're gonna have to tug it through. And just is what it
It's the
is.
same people who say, like, they don't believe in shadows and there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just fully light.
Uh, as a shadow shaman, I have to disagree.
Yeah.
It's one of those moments where it's like that meme, right? Like that X button comes like doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nah, bro. Everybody has shadows. Now, where they come from, etc., it can come from anywhere. You can inherit it. It could be trauma. It could be the thoughts that, intermingle and causes spaghetti to exist, and thus the shadows come from there. Or maybe it's an entity that is affecting your mind, body, and soul. Who knows? But you
Yeah, I mean, the
can't.
biggest, like the biggest skeptics ignore non-obvious karma.
Uh-huh.
Like corrupt people may look successful, but their lives are actually full of hidden suffering. So
Yes.
insomnia, fake friends, paranoia,
Yeah.
next generational trauma.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so dictators often get power, but die in paranoia
Yes. We've seen it
or
many times.
sickness or
I mean, look at
disgrace. Yeah,
Stalin. He
right.
has, he is the first Photoshop expert because every time he got suspicious of a friend, he had him killed, and then he photoshopped all of his pictures to remove that friend, as if the guy didn't exist. That's crazy. To make matters
Yeah,
worse,
but
to make it a little bit more controversial, China used to have an extremely beautiful culture. What happened before the communists took over? I don't even
Right.
know how North Korea was, etc. But etc.
Look at
etc.
Diddy. Yeah.
Well,
I'm
what I
on Zoom
know,
and on
what I'm
YouTube.
based off on
Hey,
the videos I've seen on YouTube,
that's called
etc.
the Double
The,
Trouble Gang.
the Double Trouble Gang. What are you
Wait,
talking
Ryan G,
about?
I can't hear you all of a sudden. Is that
Hello?
just me or
Hello? Can you hear me?
what the?
I can hear you just fine. Hey, guys, if you guys can open
Can you
up the
guys hear
mics.
Ryan G? Okay, now I can hear you.
What was that
Now it's
about?
back.
Is it on your end
I
or
have
my
no
end?
idea. I
Are
thought
we
it was on
talking
your
about
end
the
for
dark
just
things too much? What's going on?
they're trying to cut us off the air. Fuck. They know us. They know us too well. Oh
You
well.
know us too well.
So
That's
I think there's also scientific backing of karma, right? Because your thoughts, words, and actions shape your subconscious. And then there's epigenetics that say your habits and traumas carry over to future generations.
yes,
Ancestral karma, if you want to call it that.
yes,
And then, have you ever met people, Ryan, that just radiate bad luck?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's karma in motion, it seems like.
Well, if I have a check stripe, then you don't want to vibe with the wrong kind of people. So if they smell or feel weird, I don't want to get involved. It feels like a bad time. I don't want to inherit that karma. Fuck off. With all due respect, of course. Yeah. But
Yeah.
how can one inherit karma from the ancestors?
Mm,
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because you're born as a kid, but it's not like you chose that life. Or did you? This is also up for debate.
yeah. I mean, we could talk about, a lot of factors come into play here because
Right.
karma doesn't always hit in this lifetime, maybe even your next one. So it's like, even if you don't believe in reincarnation, I mean, I guess your actions still shape the world. I mean, cause and effect, right? Is I mean, if you go beyond cause and effect, now you're going into just complete oneness. And people use God or oneness as the ultimate spiritual bypass. So that's another thing. So karma is an instant punishment. It's like this unseen force that's just shaping our destinies. And if it wasn't real, then why do so many manipulative people always self-destruct in the end? Like what goes up must come down,
Yeah.
the wildfire gets stomped out, and the energy you put out is the energy that you become. And in
Right.
terms of ancestors, I think that it plays out in your family dynamics because it's passed on through parents, and like you watch your parents growing up from a young age. And so you unconsciously take on their mannerisms or ways for creating safety. So I think that's a factor of karma there.
Mm. What is your main statement to those who doubt the existence of karma?
Mm, I mean, people think karma means you do one bad thing and boom, you get hit by a car. I think karma is more so your repeated actions that shape your character. So if
Mm.
you're lying every day, your karma is that you become a liar
Right.
because you're
Because you
taking that
chose that
action.
role. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So if you're treating people like trash, you will become lonely and resentful.
Exactly.
It's so it's like, you could say that bad people win, but that's a lie. I mean, if karma is real, why do corrupt billionaires thrive? But do they really? I don't know, man. Are they really
If
happy?
if there's a thing as balance, then Either are doing things to still bypass the consequences of their action, or there are other things in play that we can't see. And I would say, do we feel that karmic effect in some form still, regardless of how many millions, if not billions, they have? You cannot deny water from flowing. It's gonna find its way out
Karma's like an
eventually.
autocorrect in that way, then,
Well,
Ryan,
it's
right?
kind of like, how if you put water into a wooden bucket and that bucket
Mm,
hasn't been, treated with certain chemicals, then at some point the
mm,
bucket rots, the water gets absorbed, and some of the water will start leaking out. That's
mm.
kind of what I'm getting at. I believe you must be willing to face whatever karmic debt that you have or have inherited.
Right.
To give an example, I had to overcome something that was for me pretty difficult, like getting my master's thesis.
Mm.
That was just rough. But because I did what I did, the next generation now that comes from my loins has a bigger chance to also get their masters and maybe more. Yeah. So when I say have faith in the universe but tie your camels, what I'm really saying is yes, trust Allah. Yes,
11
trust
for me.
Jesus. Yes, trust the universe, the energy, the source, whatever. But you
Mm.
have due diligence to pay. You must. You must feed the animals, you must feed the camels, you must feed yourself. If you want a stronger body, lift weights. Muscles cannot grow without resistance. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, and also society functions on karma, right? Like it functions on truth, honor, respect. But
Yes.
society is built on greed, corruption, deception. We've seen it play out in history. They all collapse, like,
Yes.
so
Eventually. Eventually.
bottom line is this thing is always working, even if we can't see it. So we can try to say it exists, it doesn't exist, but your thoughts become your actions. And so, that's cognitive behavior therapy. If you think about it, your thoughts become your actions.
I
So,
see.
I mean, karma doesn't need to punish you. You become the punishment or the reward. Your energy creates ripples in return. What was it that Genghis Khan quote where he said, "You need me to be the bad guy" or something like uh,
I do remember.
the devil or something? I mean, he put himself into that role in a
That's
sense.
correct.
And it,
Born a
what
boy
would you say?
to
What
become
would
the
you say is the
devil.
karma of that? Like,
Well, we know the karma of that. Last time I heard, and I think it's from Granddad Raziel, that or Padma
the
Simbapa, either
archangel.
or,
Yeah.
that Genghis Khan has to face his karma as an Asura being in whatever hell, and
Mm.
it would take a guy like that to face whatever hell that he's in. You
What
know
if
what I
Genghis
mean?
Khan used his like intensity for the good and caused like social ripples and change? I always thought about that, man.
Not impossible, not impossible, but it would still require you to have an army. Because as per
Mm,
what you've learned from assassinations of highly spiritual people that
mm.
wanted to change sides from the evil darkness to the good and the light,
Yeah.
yeah, they get assassinated because again, the moment you're of that group, they're vying for your power, they're vying for your position. So what if one day you realize you are the bad guys and you want out? That also would mean that everything that you've built based on evil and darkness will be taken from you because it, well, from a frequency basis, I would say, it's no longer your vibe. You know what I'm trying to say? So everything
Yeah,
comes with risks, and it's up to you to decide how you want to play this.
I once had a millionaire tell me, "Why are you calling it a risk? It's an investment, you know?"
Yeah, good clothes are an investment. Good pillows are a good investment. A good mattress.
Mm,
I like the simple luxuries in life. I mean, look at the meat I bought. It's like 20 euros. One of the best liquors I've had in a while,
mm,
right? And then the consequence of my
mm.
action is I get to share it with a friend, plus I can use it for rituals with the Nordic pantheon, as honey rum is also known as mead, in at
Meteor,
least
right?
in some way.
Well, that's what I was understanding from Odin's energy that he really liked mead, and so that's why I
Yeah,
recommended.
I understand why.
Yeah.
It you need to be cautious though. It drinks away easy. You don't feel it. It doesn't hit hard, but still 20% alcohol.
So I don't think karma is just you get what you give. I think it's also you get what you agreed to, what you've
Right.
allowed,
What do you
you
fill
know,
out?
what you fail to break free from. What all of these there's so many factors there, you know. So it's not like just one thing. I think relationships are karmic battlegrounds
Yes.
because not just, I'm not just talking romantic relationships. I'm talking like even just, you know, a boss or like a best friend or sometimes you ghost someone in this life, don't be surprised that you're getting abandoned in the next life, or in another timeline. Um,
So again, it's in your best interest to do as much good as you can while you can.
the
While you
fisherman
still
becomes the
can.
fish in his next life or whatever they say.
But
Like,
here's the thing, right? If karma is real, then what if I eat a lot of fish in this life?
yeah.
What are the chances that I'll become a fish in the next? Then you have arguments like
I
that.
don't
No,
think
no.
there is like some kind of special measure there, ING, that you're definitely going to be a fish, right?
Right. Right. How do you do comments looking?
Uh, Good. A lot of
Any
Czech
any
language.
checking it. Oh, oh, I see. Let me open up my side of things.
Guys, if you have any questions on the YouTube live, just let us know. We can cover it.
Yes, you can.
So people say, I don't deserve this, but do you know exactly what you did before this life? So some debts also carry over, and
Yeah,
some contracts don't expire just because you're in a new body.
yeah,
So that's why when you meet certain people, you immediately feel this like weird sense of duty, instant hatred,
yeah,
deep, profound joy. Like
yeah,
your soul remembers what your mind forgot, bro.
yeah. Because his source eternal. This brain is only for this lifetime.
Mm,
Other numerous
mm,
circumstances. But yeah, if the
yeah.
soul is eternal, that means that the karma attached to it will always be passed on unless the lesson has been learned for the time. But again, just because the lesson is learned doesn't mean the universe won't test you yet again.
Right.
And for instance, will you tolerate yourself to eat candy or eat something that is actually nutritious? There is a difference.
Mm. I think another thing is like people stay in very familiar situations. So like if let's say if you keep getting betrayed,
Yeah,
you're gonna have to stop tolerating that betrayal after a certain point. I mean, you keep tolerating it, and so it keeps happening. And because you're like to the universe that I guess I deserve this, I guess I'll accept this.
right.
You see what I'm saying? So you're never stepping up, and so the karma stays the same. And if you keep attracting manipulators, stop being so easy to manipulate.
Bear, stop being their honey.
Yeah, it's like if you feel stuck in suffering, learn the damn lesson so you don't have to keep repeating the same damn lesson.
I see. I see. What
Yeah.
lesson? And I'm being a bit brave with this one. Asking the Nexus, what lesson have I repeatedly failed to learn?
Repeatedly failed to learn, you said?
Yes, which is why, right? You want to make this controversial? Okay, let's expose me.
Hmm.
What lesson have I repeatedly failed to learn? Hence why certain things are still happening that I might not be even be aware of.
Hmm. They're saying something about love. Um,
Okay,
I'm not getting a very clear message from the Nexus on this. I think it might have to do with not being able to understand that you are loved abundantly, is what they're saying.
oof, that's a rough one.
Yeah.
That is a rough one. Not being able to understand that I am loved abundantly. Is me not understanding that part of the karma or simply part of my current competence in the way that I understand love or what love should be?
I think it's honestly a variety of factors
Fuck, I
yeah,
hate
because
those.
it's called, yeah, it's like karma is almost like an entanglement, you know what I mean? So it's like
Ah, yeah.
it's you get caught up in one loop and then there's another layer like
Yeah.
affecting it, you know?
Fuck, this is complicated, man.
Yeah.
Okay, the next
I
question
mean,
would. Mhm.
you can't like play the game the same way and expect different results every time,
That
you
is
know? So
correct. That is correct because the
try
situation will
switching it up
change.
and maybe seeing what changes, what shifts. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. So if you're interested in just readings where Sumit, Uncle Makara, muscle test, something interesting might pop out that will make you think, fuck, this
Yeah, they
foolishness.
always get you. The Nexus is actually very, very like we have a group of flow state entities and spirit guides that we work with, and a lot of them have very, very differing opinions. So it's always nice to know that the entire council agrees on something, in a certain way,
Yeah.
because they're so vast and so different, and yet they're still adding to this one piece of the puzzle. So yeah.
Well, at least it's a little bit clearer, but it doesn't mean it's not complex. Because if you say there's
Yeah,
multiple
you're never gonna
factors,
get a full,
uh,
like MLA format essay from them.
exactly.
You're gonna get a whisper.
Let's
Yeah.
then also thank you, Sumit. Let's then also address some of the statements in the comments. Let's see.
All right, let's go.
Okay, okay,
Hey,
okay.
someone is here.
Hey,
Yo,
someone, good to see,
yo.
sir, someone, good to see you again.
Candy can be nutritious though.
Depending
Facts.
who's. Anyway,
This is why
that's why
standards
standards
matter.
matter. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I think this is for us, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
Man, what is with y'all and nicknames? Um, in projects, in the world of memes, professionals have standards.
yeah.
Professionals
And
have standards. How does this relate back to spirituality and karma, Sumit?
standards.
Yeah,
Um,
having standards.
yeah, if you don't have a standard, you're gonna accept anything, and
Mm,
that's not gonna be for your best spiritual hygiene because you know what you deserve. At the end of the day, you got to decide your level of merit in a sense and what you stand for and where your foundation is. So if you don't have standards, it's almost like karma is gonna sweep you up in a
right,
sense because you're saying do whatever to me. It's
exactly. Well,
just take
that
the
that, that, that
wheel.
depends on the context, but in general, have
Right?
have
Not in the
standards.
right context. Yeah.
And under the right context, I wouldn't mind, but for the context that we find ourselves in this podcast,
Yeah.
um, every project needs a scope, or
Mm, yeah.
and it's up to the project members to protect and guard the scope and the boundaries of it, else risk going over budget, using too much time,
Mm.
etc. That's what I have to say about that. So someone is saying something interesting or asking something interesting. Is finding life itself to be a joke in the most aspects just completely off the point? What? Is finding life itself to be a joke in most aspects just completely off the point? Completely off the point. What's he trying to say, Sumit?
Mm.
I mean, it does have to do with, you are the cosmic joke. It is the universe enjoying itself through you, so you might as well enjoy it.
It
But
depends, man. It's like all a reflection of your consciousness, right? It's a mirror. So if you're like, it's all a joke, you're gonna have find funny shit in your mind. Like,
yeah, yeah, it's one of those memes, right? Bro, why are you so funny? Because I suffered a lot, you know?
yeah.
I mean,
Those
look
who
at look at
learn
the
don't
jokes I
learn
keep
from the
making.
past are doomed to repeat it. Yep, it's true.
Yes, yes. What I meant is a negative way, of course.
Love
That's
soothes the ego.
that is correct. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. That's correct. Comedy movies are awesome too. On another note here, absolutely. There's something about the way they can portray tragedy in such a comedic way, and have you go through this laughing catharsis. Catharsis? Catharsis.
Yeah.
And then you start crying because your stomach hurts. It's fantastic.
I think catharsis is also so important because a lot of times you get this, I guess, spiritual buildup or like intensity of a lot of
Yeah,
emotions, especially when you're working with certain entities and stuff.
yeah,
So you do need a good cry or a good punch on the pillow or something that where you release or just doing a ritual where just unload something.
yeah.
It's powerful to do, yeah. I think cathartic and catharsis, two different things though.
What's the difference again? Because I'm
I
worn out
mean,
at the moment.
I would say that cathartic is just like a release, but then catharsis is like a complete breakdown of the structure of release. Like it's a
Okay,
well that's just how I perceive it.
I
People
understand.
could say it's the same word. Chess is a great game. Yep, my cousin is a pro. You should challenge him. Shout out Ruchir.
I see.
All right. So, any other questions, guys, on this topic?
I would like to
We're talking
propose
about karma.
something. From
Sure.
Uncle Shawnee. What
Mm,
is the question or statement that he proposes for this episode?
mm. Something he's saying something about discipline creates a specific pattern that you've got to step into.
Hmm.
And once you're in that pattern, you can see the fruits of your labor from that specific pattern.
Makes sense. Makes sense. If you plant oranges, you should be expecting oranges and not pears or apples or anything that's
Yeah.
not related to citrus types of fruits. So yeah,
Yeah, if I squeeze an orange, I don't expect apple juice to come out of it, right?
it would be
Exactly.
funny, but yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So if you're a
interesting.
disciplined chef, let's say, and you just keep cooking every day, you just like cooking, cooking, doesn't even matter. You're the greatest chef in the world in your mind
Right.
already. And so now that discipline is creating like a pattern for you, like a bunch of stargates for you to
Hmm.
walk through. And as you keep doing that, you become Michelin star chef one day.
Exactly. Reminds me of
Hmm.
my career slogan is get the job done. I don't care who gets the job done. It can be me, it can be someone in my team, it could
Bob the
be my
Builder, can
team.
we fix it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 for real though, for real though. If the client can do it better and I just need to give him or her the tools or them the tools, so be it.
Hmm.
As long as the
So
job
be it.
gets done well and in a timely fashion,
Right.
fantastic. That gives me all the confidence that I need, regardless of when I'm tired, sick, get it done. Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't cough during this entire podcast. That's miraculous.
Why? Are
Going
you
through an
smoke?
ascension flu.
Ah.
You haven't had this sore
Hey,
throat for
here's
like
a
4 days.
question. Is ascension flu connected to karma in some way? Because if karma can karma then also be seen as cause and effect, or is it way more complicated than that?
Can be seen that way if you want to take a very reductionist, narrow approach to it. Yeah, it's like press A, you get B. It's like,
Yeah.
uh,
Yes.
but I think that there's so many other factors that come in, like your family, like who you're talking to, the
Yeah.
kind of music you listen to, you know? So all these factors are constantly interacting with one another. And so it's the idea of quantum entanglement, right? Like I could poke someone, make someone into a voodoo doll and poke them on this side of the world, and they feel
Right.
the impact on that side of the world. It's like that's quantum entanglement, right? It's like we got
Right.
to understand karma isn't just about our karma, it's about the karma of the collective, and it affects everybody. Like if you had a thief tomorrow rob from you, like that doesn't just affect Ryan G, it affects his employees, it affects, the clients it affects his family and so
Right.
forth. So it's like one negative action has a ripple effect that keeps going. Like it doesn't stop until it gets transmuted or integrated in some way, I think. So
Exactly.
I think the thing we got to do with karma is integrate it. We got to figure out a way to understand it and then move with the action that we truly prefer and know is in our best interest. Yeah.
One of my favorite ways to integrate is literally, chilling in nature and answering shadower questions that I might have generated via ChatGPT. For whatever reason, the Vedic chart of mine has a weak Mars, or at least the angle is weak. So that means, in order to resolve this karma, I must take action because Mars is literally the language of action, right?
Mhm.
And because of that fact, I must be willing to step into whatever fire has been laid in front of me, right? So whether I choose to kill the fire or walk right through it, it doesn't matter. As long as I get what I'm there to get. That's all it is. And hopefully I've been smart enough to match his frequency as well, which is an often forgotten thing. Yeah.
Get what you want to get. That's like the financial freedom code, right? But at the same
Yes.
time, I think that
Well, speaking of financial freedom and
you gotta have
abundance,
good character while you have financial freedom. You know what I mean?
of course, I would like to pose that abundance and self-love go hand in hand. Now, how they're directly related, I'm not too sure, but you cannot tolerate yourself mistreating yourself in any way, shape, or form, right? Because if you don't treat yourself right, others won't do it as well, and thus, it's not that far-fetched. It's not that far-fetched that you keep attracting a certain type of human being, let's say for relationships. Maybe you like the toxic girls, and that's what you keep attracting. Because that's what you keep telling the universe. And because you tell or ask or request, then that's what you deserve. Yeah. How much time do you still have on the clock, Sumit?
I think we have like 5 more minutes. I think we're
All
gonna
right,
end it
then
soon.
let's switch
Yeah.
to Karma and the new mystery program we have. What did we call it again?
Spiritualmasterychallenge.com, you
Spiritual
mean?
Mastery, blah, blah, blah. Spiritualmastery.com. Exactly. My apologies, guys. I'm
Challenge.com.
worn out. I'm feeling worn out. Um, of course, we know the
You
content.
might be feeling my illness on my side, maybe,
That could
or I
be.
don't
That
know.
could be. Wow. After this call, I'm gonna get some honey rum and knock back a big shot of that delicious liquor. Exactly, Claudia. Vibrations. I want to feel good vibrations. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is if you have not signed up yet for this free program that we've developed and actually put our money in, you're losing out because at some point, maybe in like a few weeks, right? We're gonna close to the free access and you'll have to pay. I know we like paying extra. So while it's for free, sign up, do the homework, watch the videos, get it done. And maybe, well, not maybe, most likely it will lighten the karma that you have placed or has been placed on you,
Yeah, it's
your body,
exclusive,
mind, and soul.
because some of those videos are unlisted and I've taken them off of my channel, at least 3 videos. You can only
Ah,
access it through the challenge. So if you
ah,
missed that video on Solar Plexus Mastery, I'm sorry, you missed it.
you missed it.
Unless you sign up for spiritualmasterychallenge.com. It's the link is right there, guys. You can just click it and put in your email. Like, what's a big deal?
Well, what the big
Right?
deal is, are they ready for the positive karmic repercussions? Are
Mm.
you comfortable finally healing and being successful and being abundant? I mean, you've heard it in this call that I have yet to understand what it means to be fully abundant in love. And it
Mm.
kind of fucks with me. As I'm like, ah, shit, I thought I learned that lesson. And apparently I didn't because there's more factors to this that I can't see yet. And I might have to natural ground to movies my parents liked in order to
Mm.
have an understanding of what's happening. Shout out to Honey Eater. Honey Eater, I get some mead, some honey rum. Maybe it might clean the wounds nicely.
Bro,
Yeah,
you've been all about that honey run. I think it's only
love
been
it.
speaking through
Love
you.
it. Best 20 euros I've ever spent. Fantastic. Challenge means growth. Absolutely, Honey Eater. Muscles need resistance to grow. The fighter needs to have an opponent, a challenge to grow. It's that simple. Anything else I want to say about the new program? No. Sign up. Now, back to you, Submit. Any final words? Closing remarks, statements?
Um, your karma will always come back around, so you might as well embrace it with open arms and do something with that energy to not keep stepping into the same patterns, you know? And remember, your karma is not just what you do, it's who you connect with, what you tolerate, what you repeat, well, and what you refuse to learn. So if you want to
Right.
escape karmic entanglement, stop playing the same game and expecting different results. You got to break the chain and wake up,
You
rewrite the
gotta break the chain
contract.
and wake up. You gotta break the chain and
So
wake up.
what karma are you still entangled in? And maybe it's time. Maybe it's time
Hell,
you leaned into
what
that.
karma are you choosing to be entangled with?
Mm-hmm.
That's the rough one. That you don't know about it is one thing, but that you've
Yeah.
become aware of it and still
Mm-hmm.
choose to tolerate it is a different story. That's a different story. Honey Eater's making a funny comment, like, can you buy Ryan glasses too? It will make him a dozen cooler. You know what? I take that back. He doesn't need any more drip. Rather, you should see my WhatsApp profile.
This man has drip, he just chooses not to, bro. I swear.
Nah, nah, trust me. I know how to dress very well. I just, his shamanism for me is shamanism I can do either in a suit or pajamas. It would not matter.
Mm.
I just find pajamas more comfortable at night. And just as the way it is. And if you don't like it,
So
go complain to the principal or something. I don't know. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, put Ryan at detention or something. All right, guys, thank you so much for tapping in. Have an
Mm.
incredible rest of your day. Drip Masters, thank you, Virgos. From promotion, yeah. Nature's always promoting, and we are just,
Nature's always promoting.
we're
Nature's
we're
always
just two
promoting.
lightning bolts,
Whoever
just
tells you, right, that you shouldn't be wearing flashy or whatever, fuck 'em. Did you shouldn't be wearing comfortable? Fuck 'em. I know I'm over my fuck limit, but it is what it is.
You only get two every podcast,
No, I'll
Ryan.
get
Damn
one. That's the that's the
it.
I got
All
invested in
right.
this part of the episode. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the GPS episode Guided Primal Sutra. I hope that has been very useful for all of you who are now live viewing this Zoom call as well on YouTube land. Thank you all of those who have decided to join this transformative episode. May your life never be the same again. I heavily recommend you buy some meat, that's one, to sign up for the free program because while it's free, and we might even remove it at some point. And all the videos that Sumit, Uncle Makara posts about chakras or whatever might get unlisted to aid the free program. So while you can use sexy motherfuckers, just like my fifth curse word, choose a better life. Sign up for something that will actually help you and be better than you were yesterday. This has been GPS.
Hey, flow state 24/7. That's right.
Hey,
All right. Peace out, guys. Much
peace
love.
out.
May the flow be with you. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll